Alright, so today is the 29th of February, which means we are officially less than 12 weeks out from the Christchurch Marathon. And yes, I do sound a little bit sick, but I've been pounding this stuff in hopes that it's going to make me feel better. So I actually ran the Christchurch Marathon last year in a time of 3 hours and 28 minutes. The goal time for that year was to be 3 hours and 20 minutes, but like every other marathon I've ever run, I hit the wall at about the 35k mark and just couldn't get through the last 7Ks at what would have been marathon pace. So off the back of the New York City Marathon last year, we have continued to train. We've been looking at about 50 to 60 kilometers every single week for the last 12 weeks. And now we have a very good base built heading into this 12-week block. Now, goal times. In the last year, I've run 2 marathons. I ran a 3:28 and a 3:39 at New York City. And this year, I honestly think that I can run under 3:15 at the Christchurch Marathon. So that works out to be about a 4:37 per kilometer pace, which I definitely think is achievable. So day one of training, we have 2 workouts today. It's currently 11:15. I've got a 1 hour easy run and a leg strength training session in the afternoon. This week, we're going to go through a week of training to show you what a general week in my life looks like when I am training for a marathon. So let's get ready to go for our hour-long easy run. So one of my favorite things about running is how simple it is in principle. You literally put on your shoes, get out the door, move your body. It's wonderful in that regard. Some people really like to get into the nitty-gritty details of gear, so I will do that quickly for you. You'll never not find me running in a pair of shorts that aren't Lululemon. The Lululemon shorts are unmatched. I mainly love them purely for how much storage they have. All of their shorts have multiple pockets. This pair that I'm wearing at the moment, which are the Fast and Free 6-inch, have 6 pockets. No, 4 pockets. 4 pockets. 2 on each side of the liner, a small zip pocket on your hip, and then they also have like a sort of a card holder pocket at the very back of the short. This is the metal Ventec tee from Lululemon. And finally, I think the most important piece of kit for any runner has to be shoes. You have to get the right shoes for you. Some people overpronate, some people heel strike. I am luckily a very neutral runner, but my favorite shoe for these sort of daily runs, anything 90 minutes and shorter at an easy pace, is the New Balance 1080 V13. And so I've been wearing these since I started training for the New York City Marathon, which was probably about September last year, and these things have been incredible. I now have 4 pairs, and I just rotate them throughout different runs. But honestly, if you are looking for a really good daily trainer, highly recommend the New Balance 1080 V13. So over the course of this marathon prep, what I'm going to do is try and break down as many barriers as possible to running your first marathon, or what it takes to run a marathon. It can be a rather complex process, and there's lots of nuances in the sport of running, and there's lots of things to learn if you are just getting into it. And I am by no means an elite runner. I am very much an average runner, but I love the sport and love being able to pass on what I've learned to people who are getting into running, because at the end of the day, all I want to do is get as many people into running as possible, purely for the reasons that it has truly changed my life, both physically and mentally, and I'm not sure where I'd be without running. So all the sloppy shit aside, let's go and crank out 1 hour at an easy pace. Minutes in now, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about the easy run. So for me, we're mainly looking at heart rate, so trying to stay in zone 2 heart rate, which for me is between about 137 to 150. Usually if I'm in that range, I know that I'm running easy enough to be getting that aerobic benefit. So about 80% of my runs each week are going to be in the zone 2 sort of easy bracket, we'll call it. The other 20% will be some speed work stuff,
And yeah, just trying to keep it really nice and easy, so when you come up to those harder workouts, you are ready to tackle them nice and fresh. I'm definitely stopping to get a Diet Coke after this. It's hot as out here. This is the only problem when you run in the middle of the day. I'm used to running in the morning. Next stop, Diet Coke.
Okay, we're back from our run now. So I thought I'd just quickly take you through the stats. 10.1 kilometers, 5:56 average pace, average heart rate 142. So exactly where we sort of want to be for those easy runs. It's definitely a lot warmer out there than what I'm used to. Typically run in the morning when it's a lot cooler, not in the middle of the day when it's 22 degrees. So that is session 1 done for the day. I'm about to go see my physio in an hour, and then after that we will crack into this lower body leg session, which I will do at home.
20 minutes in now. Just gonna work through the strides. 15 seconds on, 60 seconds walking rest. And then we'll finish off with a 10-minute cool down.
So we just finished that run 2 of this marathon block. We had about 35 to 40 minutes of zone 2 running, easy running, with 5 times 15-second strides in there. I didn't film a lot of the pre-run this morning because moving forward, there's going to be a lot of easy running, and I probably don't need to reiterate myself every single time I'm going to go for an easy run. So anyway, stats for the run, 6.15 kilometers total at a 6:01 pace, average heart rate 124. That's based off my watch though, so I don't even take that into consideration, but as long as I'm running somewhere between 5:45 and 6:30, I know that I'm sort of running easy and in zone 2, and just over 37 minutes of total activity. So tomorrow's session is looking very exciting. I would assume I probably would have done this on Saturday, but because my stag do is on Saturday, he's moved it to Wednesday. So tomorrow's going to be very interesting. Alright, good morning. It is Wednesday, and just because this week is a little bit odd with my stags do on Saturday, I'm doing sort of my key session today. So it starts with 45 minutes warm up, zone 2, zone 3, can sort of go into that higher end of zone 2, and then we go into a 6, 7, 8, 9 minute ladder. These are all zone 4, sort of zone 5 heart rate. So we're looking at a total of about an hour 40 on the feet. One thing I just want to say is, like, I think marathon training gets quite glamorized across social media, you know, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, etc. And they make it look very fun. And a lot of the time it is, and a lot of the time it's not. And today I'm not having one of those fun days. I'm not looking forward to going out on my run. I woke up late, so it's like thrown everything off, and then going to run for nearly 2 hours. There's nothing super exciting about that. The best thing about marathon training, or trying to run a marathon fast, is that if you don't show up every single day and put in the work, you will not get to where you want to be. So it's the greatest form of delayed gratification is marathon running. And sometimes you can go through a 12, 16-week block, put in all the work, show up to the race line feeling as fresh as possible and ready to rip, and then shit happens and you bonk at 35 and you run 30 minutes slower than what you did. So it's a truly humbling sport, but if you don't show up every single day, put in the work, you're not going to get better. So yeah, although today is one of those days where I feel pretty unmotivated to not get out there and run, I know that without doing it, come 21 April, I'm not going to be ready. So, right, about an hour has passed since you last saw me eating my toast. We're ready to go for our run. Today we're going to be running in the New Balance SuperComp Trainer version 2. This is the newest colorway of the shoe, I believe. Anyway, any sort of long run or tempo run, I'll typically do in this shoe. Sometimes I'll train in the SuperComp Elite V3s, depending on the session, but like to stick to these. Just a little bit more forgiving.
Yeah. All of you, none of me. Fucking bet 100 at a time that I'm in a blues. Learn how to live amongst the animals on front of zoo. Said he got a plug on the
Just about through the 45 minutes. And now about to move into the first part of the ladder, which is 6 minutes. Probably pace will be around 440 per kilometre, I reckon. Heart rate might be a little elevated because it's hotter, so see how we go.
Push him out now on the shop. Look, put me in the box. I can't hit it right.
2 sets now, just about to go into the 8-minute set. Feeling pretty good. It's hot out here, I wish you got out a little bit earlier. Anyway, back into it.
Man, the whole gang getting like to a car.
Alright, let's break down. Get out of it. Is that your duck? You got a toy too, Fliv. Everyone's got a toy. Everyone's got a toy. Let's break down that run. It was 18.4 kilometers total. Average pace 5:30. 1 hour 41 minutes 2 seconds. So now if we go into the intervals, so run 1, which was the first 6 minutes, was a 4:49 pace. Obviously the body just needed to warm up a little bit. Run 2, which is the 7-minute block, 4:39. Run 3, which is the 8-minute block, 4:37, and then run 4, which was the 9-minute block, was a 4:38. So overall, pretty happy with how I felt during that. Pretty tough doing one of those harder sessions on a weekday, because now I have to continue on with my day like a normal human being. I can't just sit on the couch like I probably would on a Saturday. So this morning I'm shooting a piece of branded content with Rebel Sport, not for this channel, but for Instagram and TikTok. I'm going to be surprising my friend Chad with a pair of these New Balance 880s. And so we're going to ask him a few questions, what his running goals are for 2024, how he got into running. It feels good to give back. Chad has been a big part of my training over the last 18 months. I would say we run at least once a week. But he's also been a huge help with the Floor 12 Run Club, leading multiple runs while I haven't been there. I guess quickly we can actually just go over gear really fast and what we're going to shoot. So at the moment shooting on the A7S3, and I'll use the 24-70, the Peter McKinnon Polar Pro variable ND. I've got the 2 DJI mics, obviously I've got one on at the moment, the other one in here. We'll clip these on our hats when we go running, and these will be recording the sort of interview running audio, which is good. I've also got the little dead cats that sit on top of the microphones. And then in terms of what we'll actually shoot the running piece on, this is the Osmo Action, and so we can use it in vertical mode, which is ideal. But this also allows me to connect both of the DJI mics to this via Bluetooth without having to use the transmitter. So that's awesome because I can just carry this, we can have a mic each, and it makes it really easy to get this content. This thing is amazing. It's got a 1-inch sensor and obviously it has a gimbal, so the footage that comes out of it is going to be super smooth. Paired up with the microphones, it's going to be great. I'm looking forward to it. Alright, this is the reality of shooting content, is the mic on the side of the hat. Chad's got one too. And we're about to go run around Hagley Park and look like a couple of dorks, but you know, it's what you do sometimes. Okay, so one thing I'm trying to do with this series is keep it pretty honest. And today I didn't abide by my normal rules, which is run in the morning, because now it's 5 to 8 at night. As you can see, sun's sitting behind me. And now I got to go run for 75 minutes. So I'm going to get home. It's going to be 9:15, and then basically straight to sleep. But it'll be hard to sleep because I'm all juiced up on endorphins and whatnot. So we're going to go get this done.
I've got almost no interest in going for a run, so I'm going to make this as painless as possible. Put on a podcast. Lewis Hamilton just left Mercedes to go to Ferrari for 2025, so be a few podcasts on that. Anyway, let's do it. Oh. The first couple of steps suck. I wasn't really that stoked to be out here before, but now that I'm out here, this is beautiful. I think like nighttime running is overrated, but honestly I just can't really do it because I call it the running cloud. Basically, if I don't get out early in the morning and get my run done, this sort of running cloud sits over me, and I know that for the rest of the day I've still got to run. So it's kind of all I think about. Whereas if I get it done in the morning, it's done, you feel good, don't have to worry about doing it later. You can do a second session later if you want to go to the gym or something. So this is nice. Still prefer the mornings. Hour 15 minutes later, 12.2k, 6:09 pace. Don't feel the greatest. I already know it's going to be hard to get to sleep tonight, but not too much you can do about it. So next run is on Sunday, another 75 minutes. Also have run club on Sunday, so I'm not sure how exactly that's going to work. Run in the morning.
Alright, we've managed to make it to our last run of the week. It's currently 8:22 p.m. We've got about an hour to do tonight. Now, I had my stag do, bucks night, whatever you want to call it, yesterday. So I woke up this morning not feeling the most flash, shall we say, but still managed to make it down to run club, take people through the warm-up, and then whipped around and took some photos. But basically just wanted to give myself the day to start feeling better, so we can get this run done. Yeah, an hour easy. Zone 2, take it really slow. That'll be this week wrapped up. We should be looking at about 65 kilometers total, maybe a little bit under, and just over 6 hours on the feet, which is pretty standard, but a pretty good way to start off the 12-week block. So we're going to go cruise our way through 60 minutes, put my headphones on, listen to some music, get it done.
About halfway through now. It's lovely out here, but it's already 9 o'clock, and all I can feel is my dinner coming up with every single stride. So can't wait for this next 30 minutes to be over, and then it's the week done.